Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be reviewing Ryan Wilson's 3-round NFL mock draft. Steelers target high upside wide receiver in the trade back into the round for QB. So, I didn't even see this. I'm going to be honest, I would have reviewed this much earlier if I saw this. I don't really review Ryan Wilson's. I think my main guy is Josh Edwards. If you guys are a real loyal fan base to this channel, I love Josh Edwards. So, Ryan Wilson is someone I don't really look at, but I also like the CBS mock drafts because it's interesting to see what the CBS analysis thinks. So, I don't know. I guess I want to start this off by saying one thing too. I've been forgetting to do this. I've been streaming on Twitch for like 2 weeks. I just haven't been promoting it. I just do some posts occasionally, and people don't really look at my channel that much. So I'm gonna put a screenshot right here. This is gonna be the Twitch name. It's literally just capital Chair with 2 R's. I think it's like the exact same as my YouTube at. It's capital Chair and an extra R. So please go follow that up. We're gonna be streaming not daily, but we're gonna be streaming a good amount. I want to like branch out streaming, I guess. Like, it's just something fun I want to do. We're playing a lot of MLB The Show. I'm gonna start playing Rocket League. I'm gonna start playing 2K. I'm gonna play Red Dead on stream. I'm gonna just be playing a bunch of games that I think I like playing, and it'll be fun. So, with the little quick self promotion out of the way, we are gonna go with the first overall pick being Fernando Mendoza. I'm pre-firing. Yes, sir. We pre-fired the first overall pick, Fernando Mendoza. We're not going to spend too many times on each pick because there's 3 rounds, so I don't want to spend so much time on the first round picks because I already cover them so much where I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, it's not bad. So we're going to go Fernando Mendoza here. Easy pick. I mean, the whole thing with Mendoza, right, is that he's not the biggest athlete in the world, but he's just a damn well solid pick. You see his frame listed here, 6'5", 236. That's pretty like big. It's bigger than some of the other quarterbacks in the league. Obviously, it's bigger than Kyler Murray, but like it's going to be like a bigger quarterback in the league. So I don't dislike Mendoza. He's not the biggest athlete in the world. Like he's not gonna wow you with his athletic tools, but he's gonna wow you with his leadership. He's gonna wow you for his accuracy. He doesn't miss his throws, and that's what I want. I want a reliable quarterback, and I would honestly take someone like Fernando Mendoza than someone like Anthony Richardson, who's very inconsistent but has all the athletic tools. Fernando Mendoza is renowned as a better prospect than Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson went like 5 or something. I think he went 5, but regardless, I like Mendoza. I think it'll be awesome. I think it'll be a good fit for this team. Don't dislike it. The Jets take David Bailey edge out of Texas Tech. Interesting. David Bailey just doesn't like. I don't really like his profile here. Like I think this team would need a Arbor East side player, a bunch of different like versatility. Versus David Bailey, who is 19 in the prospect ranking. I have him around the same too. He's just not that like the flashes of like strength isn't as consistent as I want him to be. He isn't a great processor. He doesn't get to the backfield. I don't think I think he just like sees the quarterback and goes for the quarterback. And if he might get burned on the RPO, or if he sees the quarterback, like I don't know. I just don't like it sometimes. But he is a big guy who can get him. So I don't dislike it. I really don't. So we're gonna see him go here. Francis Maianoa, offensive tackle out of Miami, goes to the Cardinals. This makes a lot of sense too. Cardinals need a QB, but Maianoa is one of the best serious bets, surest bets in the entire class. 100% too. I think he has so much versatility for this team. So even if he doesn't work out a tackle, he can move into guard. Even if he doesn't work out guard, he can move to tackle. Like whatever this team needs, which is a tackle, whatever any team needs, wherever he goes, it's not a bad option to take Maianoa here. He has unreal strength. Again, it's an easy pick, and people like to harp on him. He's not my favorite tackle in the world, but like he's good. Like I don't know why people are really upset. He's good. The Titans take Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame. Pretty simple top 4. I mean, if you really want to sub out David Bailey for Arbor Reese, be my guest. I would probably do that. I would honestly probably sub out Bain instead of David Bailey too. But that's just me. Regardless, Love is not a bad option. You can take Cam Ward, another option. He's going to be he's lifting all these type of guys that went. He's going to be among those tiers. Bijan Robinson, Ashton Jeanty, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley. He's going to be among those tiers. He's a top 10 running back. I don't know. Gibbs was taking like pick 14 or something, but like Bijan Robinson is pick 7. Ashton Jeanty was pick 6. Saquon Barkley was pick 2. I mean, he's going to be the number 1 tier running back, and you don't see this type of running backs. Like, they sometimes pay free agency, like, obviously, Saquon Barkley had free agency, and the Giants just were dumbasses and pay him. But I think Jahmyr Gibbs is not going to have free agency ever. Bijan Robinson is such a cornerstone for the Falcons. He's probably not going to fit free agency ever in his prime. Even Jeanty, I don't think he will ever hit free agency in his prime. Like I don't know. I just think that like someone like Jeremiah Love is just cut from his own cloth. He's one of the better running back classes ever. Like there's like an S tier running backs as prospects. Bijan Robinson, Ezekiel Elliott, Jahmyr Gibbs, Ashton Jeanty were all considered top tier prospects. Reggie Bush back in the day, like there was a lot of top tier prospect, running back prospects that we've always seen. And Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, it makes sense. It really does. He is taking number 4 overall for a reason, because his game is so good. It's speed, it's good pass catching ability, it's good vision. It's just a solid pick. I don't dislike it at all. Just take overreach edge / linebacker out of Ohio State. I know he's listed as edge here, but I think I view him more as a linebacker too as well. Played 51 and 49% of snaps on off-ball linebacker and on ball. So there's moving areas here. I think I like Albert Ruiz. I really do. This team, it does need a linebacker though, and I think, I don't know. Like, I don't dislike the pick as much as some other people do. I don't dislike Albert Ruiz. He's another Buckeye too. I've always said for the Giants, pick a Buckeye. Carl Tate, Downs, Sonny Styles, or even Reese. But I prefer the other Buckeye teammates. I prefer Carl Tate. I prefer because Carl Tate also has a high floor as a 2, but she already was so good next to Jeremiah Smith. He can be even better next to Malik Neighbors. He was also there's also Sonny Styles. Like, I don't know. I don't think that I dislike Albert Ruiz here. I think this team is a little bit more, and but I don't dislike Albert Ruiz. I mean, he can be a good chess piece for this team. He can be so much better, and this front seven can even better. Like the trenches, this will probably be the best pass rushing duo in the league. Michael Parsons, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Albert Ruiz. That's literally elite. With depth guys like Chauncey Golson, like there is a lot of depth. There's a lot of depth, and if you add Albert Ruiz, that makes this front seven even scarier. I mean, it's crazy. Like and they revamped their linebacker room, as in dropping Bobby Okereke and getting Truman Lemons. And they can maybe take a linebacker in the 3rd round, because this linebacker class is very, very deep. They don't have a 3rd round pick actually, so 4th round. So it's very deep. It's a very deep class. So like maybe not. Ruiz can also play linebacker too. He can be playing and also off-ball linebacker with Michael McFadden if they want to rotate out. Like there's a lot of moving areas for this team, so I don't dislike it. The bounce segment from the offensive tackle out of Georgia. Again, simple fake, he's the left tackle. He doesn't have the most starting ability ever, but like he is solid. He has really quickly. He moves really quickly. And he's one of the better prospects in this draft class for me, because I like him. He's ascended a lot. I think 6 is a little bit of a reach for him. Like I don't see him. Like I think this is like the start of the Monroe Feeling train, and this is the highest I ever see him going. I don't think I ever see him going like anywhere else. But I don't dislike Monroe Feeling. He moves really quickly. He gets downhill. He is very fast. Like he's freakishly fast on tape. If you know how fast someone is, he's freakishly fast on tape. So like I don't know. I just think that like taking Monroe Feeling here is not a bad idea. It really isn't. So I don't dislike it. Ruben Bain Jr. goes to Washington. This is another great pick too. Ruben Bain is so violent. The only reason why I have him falling so much is because of his arms. Literally that's it. The organizations care about their arms. So I can see him falling because of his arms, but I can also see him just people just saying fuck it, we're gonna pick him, and I think that's 100% available here. I think you can pick him. So we're gonna go Ruben Bain Jr. I like it a lot. It makes a lot of sense. I think this just does justice. It does justice. I love Ruben Bain as a prospect. He's my best edge on this class. I don't view Albert Ruiz as an edge. I view him more as a linebacker. But I view Ruben Bain Jr. as more of an edge. Obviously, because he hasn't played anything else but edge. But like that's the thing. This team has Adolfo and K'Lavon Chaisson. That's gonna be a 3-headed monster with these two, and Ruben Bain Jr., who's also so violent, who's also so great. Doesn't go on to play. He's passionate about football. That's what I want. I love it. The Saints 600 Styles linebacker out of Ohio State. You don't usually see awful linebackers go this high. Like awful linebackers aren't really like valued that much in the NFL. Obviously people like him because I mean it's not premier, but it's a important position in football. But like I don't know. I think that Sonny Styles is so cut ahead of some of these other guys. Like he's in the Devin Bush category. Even like Isaiah Simmons, but Isaiah Simmons was kind of like a tweener where you don't know where he's gonna play. You don't know if he's gonna play nickel. You don't know if he's gonna play linebacker. You don't know if he's gonna play safety. You don't know if he's gonna play like fucking I don't know like punt returner. I don't know. Like there's so much like unsure where Isaiah Simmons will play. Sonny Styles, you can literally play him anywhere. Like. Or you can play him at alpha linebacker. You know what you got. I don't like it. I don't hate it. I mean, he's literally what this team needs. They lost to Mario Davis, so they need a linebacker. Like it's not a bad option, and especially with Bain and Bailey off the board and Reese, like the 3 premier edge rushers off the board. So it's either take Tate or Styles. Even Downs. I don't dislike Downs here, but like Tate and Styles. Literally, again, take a Buckeye. Tate, Styles, Downs. Like one of the 3, and they took him here, so not a bad option. Chiefs take Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. I really don't hate this at all. I think the Chiefs need another tackler, especially after this depleted secondary. The secondary looks bad, and I think Spagnuolo is gonna have to start building fresh. So take a secondary here, not a bad option. I definitely think Mansour is in play here. Literally a perfect identical fit for Trent McDuffie. He's like literally a Trent McDuffie, like not carbon copy, but he's a Trent McDuffie clone. So I don't dislike it, but like maybe you take Delane here, but I don't know. I don't dislike Downs here. If you're gonna take Downs, I'm not gonna harp on you because this is the best player in the class. Whoa. Okay. So the Bengals take Peter Woods, defensive lineman out of Clemson. This is interesting. This isn't like I don't know. The defense like it's been rough. Rough. It really has been rough. Mainly it's been mainly losing edge rushers, whiffing on picks like Jamar Stewart. I don't like the pick. He was just an athletic beast. Like that was the only thing that really like made me love him out of Texas A&M. Like that was the whole thing. But with Peter Woods, right, this team I think needs a little bit more, a little bit something else. Like I don't know, the board hasn't fallen well, but I think Mansour is not a bad option because you get another corner in the room. Peter Woods has fallen a lot because mainly his whole like lack of production this year. Maybe because he was double team. I'm not a gigantic Peter Woods hater. I actually have gone on rant saying he is really good, but like I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. So like Peter Woods is fine, but you might want to look in another direction. I don't know. This might be a little too high. The Dolphins take Mansour Delane, cornerback out of LSU. Listen, I like Mansour a lot. I think he does, and this team needs a lot of corner depth. I mean, Jack Jones is their starting corner. And then they have someone else not really notable. Mansour is not a bad option. It really isn't. So I really love Mansour here. He isn't the biggest guy in the world, but he can literally get the ball up. He is super smart. He is awesome. He's awesome. So I don't dislike Mansour out here at all. This team needs a corner. Take him. The Dallas Cowboys take Akeem Mansour, defensive lineman / edge out of Miami, Florida. Interesting. The Cowboys kind of build for the future. This is literally what like the Cowboys like. This is the perfect edge rusher for the Cowboys. You get a guy who is instant production, so you know he's not going to really fail. He's probably the most NFL ready pass rusher in the first round, I think. Then there's also the schematic fit of him actually being able to get to the quarterback, which they like and they usually get. So they usually go for someone like Akeem Mansour than someone like compared to like someone like Keldrick Folk. So there's that into the account. Like I don't dislike it. I think you can maybe get him at pick 20 though. I think there's better players on the board. I love Jamal McCoy here because again his pro day was amazing. So I think teams might be buying high on him right now. Dylan Thielen, not a bad option here either. Like there's options here, but Akeem Mansour, like this team, it fits the team. It's just a little high. I think they have pick 20, so why don't you take him at pick 20? Because I don't think any other team besides maybe the Bucks will take him here. But like again, it's not a bad option. The Rams take Carnell Tate, Ohio State wide receiver. Not a bad option. This is the first wide receiver off the board this draft. So, yeah, so this is going to be interesting. I think Carnell Tate is awesome. He isn't, like, the best at everything. Like, I don't know. I just don't think he's, like, awesome, like, at a bunch of things. But, like, he's just a high-floor player. He was awesome next to Ohio State's Jeremiah Smith. Like, he's been really good route runner. Has not the best speed in the world, but, like, his catching is good. His route running is good. His separation is good. Like, everything's good. Really, everything's good besides maybe his speed. Like, and his speed is fine. Like, I don't dislike his speed. Like, it's literally just, like, it's this team doesn't need much in the wide receiver room. Puka Nacua is in rehab. I don't think that's going to be super duper long term. It seems like he wants to get himself back together. Whatever, do your thing, bro. Once you come back on the football field, you come back. Hopefully, you're still the same. Devontae Adams, they've been taking trade requests or like calls. If like the calls isn't good, they said they're not hesitant on trading him. It's like, so that's interesting. Like they basically said you're not part of our long term future. If we get a good deal for you, we're gonna take it. But Carnell Tate, that's gonna be a consistent receiver who's already like been really good next to already like talented Ohio State receivers in the past. So like, why don't you take Carnell Tate here? Like it's another consistent receiver, and it'll be a good filler. And he doesn't always have to be wide receiver one because obviously you have one of the best, if not the best receiver in football. You have Puka Nacua. I don't know. I like it. The Ravens takes Vega Ioane, interior offensive lineman out of Penn State. So this is a very interesting area. I think Penn State was really bad this year. I mean, I don't think I know. Like, obviously with James Franklin gone and all that shit. But like, Vega Ioane is one of the strongest interior offensive linemen in this class. Like, I like it. I really do. So I think taking Vega Ioane here is not a bad option. This team doesn't usually utilize it. Declan Doyle doesn't. But like, I think Fano is available. I don't dislike taking Fano there. But taking Vega here is not a bad option. I don't know. I don't know how like schematically well this fit. Declan Doyle usually seems to go with these swing tackle roles you've seen with Joe Thuney. So like that's an area of food for thought. But like I don't dislike Vega on here. I also don't dislike Sponsor Fano over here. So it's really whatever they want. So if they like Vega more, I can definitely see it happening. The Bucks take Keldrick Folk. I always like shake my head. I'm gonna probably zoom in on that when I'm editing this. But like I always hate when the Bucks take Keldrick Folk because this team is not in the whole mindset. This organization, not the team. This organization, as in the front office, actually, not even an organization. The GM and the coaching staff is not the organization for a developmental project. They want playoff success now in a weak division, and the ownership and the higher ups will be upset if they don't get that. And especially with Keldrick Folk, who's not the most flashy guy, and they had struggling like areas getting to the quarterback. Keldrick Folk is not going to get to the quarterback that well in the NFL level. And I'm not saying he won't ever. I'm just saying that as of right now, if you draft him, he's not going to do that. And he's a very good run defender. Don't get me wrong. He's very strong for his size. He's really young. You can develop him. The problem is he's not ready now. And this team wants a ready now type player. That's why I say Akeem Mesidor is so much better. Is because Akeem Mesidor can get to the quarterback now. He is a little bit older, but like this team isn't in a developing process. Not this team. This team is honestly fine. Like it's not the oldest. It's not the youngest. Like this team is fine. But if you're talking about the coaching staff, the front office, like this team wants to build more. Like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Coach Folker. It's just not like it's not my favorite pick in the world. They just take Makai Lemon, wide receiver out of USC. So this is interesting because Makai Lemon is another interesting versatile piece for them. Across from Gary Wilson and Adonai Mitchell, who are both like go-getters down the field. Adonai Mitchell has amazing speed. Gary Wilson's just good at everything. And then Makai Lemon would be a good versatile. He's not the most flashy receiver. He's not the most explosive. He's not honestly not has the highest speed. But like his idea of catching it, being fearless on the field, like when I'm watching his tape, it seems like he isn't afraid to take contact, and that's what I like. He will be good getting in between zones, getting between the tackles. He'll be good jet sweeps. He'll be good just as a mismatch. Like he's just a solid player, and this team has the luxury and the amount of capital they have. They have the amount of like capital to take someone like Makai Lemon and hope it works out. I definitely see Jordan Tyson available, but like I don't dislike Makai Lemon here. Like it makes a lot of sense. Like I think I really like Makai Lemon. I'm Makai Lemon wide receiver for the longest time, but I don't know. I just think that some of the concerns with his character, which isn't really confirmed, but like some of the concerns with his character isn't taking like help. It's not really, but like it wasn't like a gigantic deal at USC, but like there was like problems that he bombed his interviews. I don't know. I don't know. Until there's organizations that say that he did, I'm not gonna really comment on that. But I don't dislike Makai Lemon here. I don't like it. The Lions take offensive tackle Caden Proctor out of Alabama. Not a bad option. I mean, this team needs a left tackle after Taylor Decker retired, so you would want to build for the future. And the only problem with Caden Proctor is that he doesn't really develop technique-wise. He has the best frame. He's like 6'9", 360 plus. He has a really good frame for a tackle. He moves really well laterally quickly. The media is tricking you. His tape is really good. He's not as bad laterally quickly as some people say, and I will prove that to you in preseason or during the regular season when I see him running downfield. Like the guy plays literally the guy played tight end. Like he looked like obviously he not played tight end. He was getting tight end reps, but like he looked good down the field blocking for the tight end reps. Like he didn't look bad. I think people are overrating, even with this size, doesn't mean he's slow. Like, you watch the tape and you will understand that. Like, with Caden Proctor, he just needs technique-based form. And I think next to Penei Sewell and this Dan Campbell-style offense, he can get that. So, I think we're kind of overestimating that. I think Caden Proctor is definitely a big developmental project, but, like, I don't think he's bad. Like, I think a 4 and 5 star can eventually work. I know it's a high school grading, but like he can work for it. He can work through it. Like I don't dislike it. He's produced at Alabama too. That's why he's getting first round buzz. Like that's the whole thing. I don't dislike Caden Proctor at all. The Vikings take Emmanuel Warren, safety out of Toledo. So this is interesting because they have Emmanuel Warren going above Dylan Thiemann. So I like Emmanuel Warren a lot. I really do. I think he's a good range of safety. He's not the best. In terms of like athleticism, but he's really good. He's a real hitter. People seem to like Dylan Thiemann more. I'm one of those people. You call me hands up. I liked Emmanuel Warren, but like I don't know if I'd like him above Dylan Thiemann. I mean, this team wants a turnover prone guy, so like I don't dislike Emmanuel Warren, but with Dylan Thiemann here, I'll probably prefer Dylan Thiemann here. Jamal McCoy, Tennessee out of corner out of Tennessee goes to the Carolina Panthers. Not a bad option. This team does need another building piece. Obviously, they have J.C. Horn, which they invested a lot into, who's been pretty good. Like, he signed a gigantic deal. But even with his ACL tear, I like Jamal McCoy here. He ran a 4.3 at 40. Looked really good as pro day. Like, he didn't look like he was, like, messed up at all. And that's what I want for my corner. And I don't think there's much speed loss. Obviously, his knee isn't going to move the same. ACL injuries mess up people. But, like, it varies from different person to person if they mess up or if it happens a lot. So, I want to like Jamal McCoy here. Makes a lot of sense. I like it. All right, so this guy doesn't have Dylan Thiemann very high. He has Colton Hood, corner out of Tennessee, going to the Cowboys. This is 100% a plausibility. If they get the corner in the future, it's not a bad option. But like, I think Avon Terrell fits better. I don't know. After Colton Hood, I feel like he's not amazing at everything. Avon Terrell has a lot of athleticism, has a lot of like strength and just like overall like aggressiveness to him, which I like more than Colton Hood, who's like average at some stuff. Like, you're not gonna get in the NFL if you're average. Obviously, he's above average to multiple people in the college football scheme, but like he's he's not better than Avon Montreal in my opinion. I like the tape more for Avon Montreal, but again, I don't dislike the Cowboys taking another corner here. And he's also stepped in for Jamal McCoy and been the number one corner. So two Tennessee corners go back to back. The Steelers take Jordan Tyson, ASU wide receiver. Not a bad option either. I think I like Jordan Tyson here. Like, it's another weapon for this team. This team wants to load up on weapons with Michael Pittman. Like, I don't dislike Jordan Tyson here. It makes a lot of sense for Jordan Tyson to go here. He doesn't have to be on the field available 100% of the time because you already have two reliable weapons in DK and whatchamacface and Michael Pittman Jr. You also have Pat Freiermuth and Washington. You also have Rico Dotto. Like, this, it's a good like fit for this quarterback. And I think Mike McCarthy can use Jordan Tyson a lot too. So it's not a bad option to take Jordan Tyson here, who has real unreal contortion of his body. Not a bad option whatsoever. The Chargers take TJ Parker edge out of Clemson. I've actually seen this mocked a lot. I have, because TJ Parker is honestly not a bad player. Like, he's not the, like I said, he's not gonna be the most wowing player in the world. Like, I don't know, he's not gonna be the most wowing player in the world. But he gets the quarterback. He can be a good 3-down lineman if you need him to. Like, he's solid. And the production has been down compared to 2025 and now in 2025 to 2024. But like, regardless, he's still good. He can get to the quarterback still. He's young still. Like, there's a lot of moving parts for this. Like, I don't dislike it, and especially with Khalil Mack being towards the tail end of his career, you can build for the future too. And I think this team has addressed the offensive line enough to the point where you can make him wait later down the line. So, like, I don't dislike TJ Parker here whatsoever. It makes a lot of sense. The Eagles take Spencer Fun offensive tackle out of Utah. This is going to be a good area to talk about. I mean, he doesn't really play right tackle, or he doesn't play left tackle. He plays right tackle. So if you want to, replace him for Lane Johnson, you have to teach him that. But yeah, like I said, in the meantime, being kick inside the guard, not a bad option. If I think if Spencer Fano falls here, you take him here. Like, that's my idea. I like Spencer Fano a lot. He has measured short in the arm department, but I don't really think that's a big of a worry because he has like that swing tackle possibility. So I don't dislike it. I think this makes a lot of sense actually. The Browns take Casey Conception, wide receiver out of Texas A&M. So listen, the thing with Casey Conception is at Texas A&M, he made the easy catches look like hard, or like he dropped some of the easy catches, but he made the hard catches look very easy. 66% contested catch rate at Texas A&M. Like, he looks good, and for his size, he's not the biggest guy. He's just more of a slotty guy. He played punt return and played in the slot a couple times too. But like, he gets off the line so well for how quick he is. Like, he might be a real solid player, and he's my wide receiver 3 or 4. Like, I like his tape a lot. I like his tape a lot, and he just for his size, he gets to the ball really quickly. He's kind of like Mekhi Lemon, where like for how small he is, you don't expect him to get the balls like he does. But like, he actually he does, and that's why I like him so much, because he's so versatile. He can catch it, he can run from it. Like, that's what I like. So I don't dislike Casey Conception here whatsoever. The Bears take Caleb Banks, defensive lineman out of Florida, especially with the hurt foot. I might see him falling out of the first round, but it's not a bad option to take Caleb Banks. He just moves people so freakishly quickly. Like, it gets crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, you don't really see that happening. The problem is he's always just been injured. Like, his career at Florida has been injury riddled. Like, it sucks, but like, he's really good. His talent is there, but he slept to day 2. But like, I definitely think he can be good. Like, I think he can be good. Like, I feel like a skill set can be used in the NFL. It's just like he might fall because of his tough injury history. So that's the whole issue. The Bills take safety Dylan Thiemann, Oregon safety. Not a bad option. I don't dislike it. Like, this team does need a safety. I've mocked Dylan Thiemann and Emmanuel Warren here a lot, so I don't dislike it. I don't see Dylan Thiemann falling past 25. Like, my opinion, I think he should go to 25 because especially with the Bears getting rid of Jaquan Brisker and CJ Gardner-Johnson and all those guys, like, I think Dylan Thiemann might be a little bit better of a fit for him, but like, I don't dislike him here. It's a lot of like more defensive like depth, so I don't dislike it at all. Makes sense. 49ers take Caleb Lomu, offensive tackle out of Utah, another left tackle. It's gonna be good. I mean, with Trent Williams retiring, or soon retiring, he's not officially retired yet. He's probably gonna play a couple more years, but like, I think they're ready to move on from him. So if you take Caleb Lomu, you develop a already raw type player and develop him under one of the best left tackles to ever play the game. So I don't dislike Trent Williams learning and helping Caleb Lomu. And actually developing his strength. It'll be awesome. He already plays left tackle, so it won't be that big of a learning curve from jumping one tackle to the other, per se. So it's not a bad option. Makes a lot of sense. Texans take Caleb McDonald, defensive lineman out of Ohio State. A real nose tackler, really good run defender. He can plug the nose up, has a bunch of upside as a pass rusher. A real solid fit for this team. It really is. So I don't dislike Caleb McDonald here. He produced at one of the best programs in the country. Like, it makes sense for this team to go Caleb McDonald here. It literally makes sense. We won't worry about that too much. The Chiefs take Mason Thomas, defensive lineman out of Oklahoma. okay, so the thing with Mason Thomas is, Thomas' arms measure under 32 inches. He also didn't have a good combine. He also is probably going to be a big developmental project. Why are we taking him? Like, be honest with yourself. Why are we taking him? You can compare him to Nick Bonino, like you can, but like Nick Bonino was taken the second and third round. Like I don't think just because Nick Bonino did that is gonna make Mason Thomas go in the first round. Listen, I have no vendetta against Mason Thomas. I think he's gonna be a good player, but the problem is, I don't like him taking the first round because again, he didn't run a good combine speed, which is what he was known for. He didn't run a good 40-yard time. His tape hasn't really popped out to me. Like, I'm gonna be honest, his tape hasn't really made me be like, oh my god, jaw dropping. Right? He's been fine. He's more of a project. This team doesn't need a project right now. They need a surefire edge right now. And like, who's available right now? Rather than take Malachi Lawrence, Zion Young, Derek Moore. There's more edge rushers out there. This edge class is not very grim, so there's a lot of people. So it's a little bit of reach. And I think with Avon Terrell on the board, with this team needing secondary as well, they took downs. They didn't even take a corner. With taking Avon Terrell here, which is a perfect Trent McDuffie role too, it's not a bad option to take Avon Terrell here instead of reaching on Mason Thomas. I just like it. Dolphins take Denzel Boston, wide receiver Washington. Not a great separation, but this team does need a prototypical type X, like a guy who can just throw the ball to, because Malik Washington is not going to be the wide receiver one there. So with the draft capital they got from the Broncos, it's not a bad option to take Denzel Boston here. It makes a lot of sense. Like realistically, like it does. Like this team needs a wide receiver. And if you're going to take the best wide receiver available, and he definitely is, I think Omar Cooper Jr. is available, so it wouldn't be bad. He can play anywhere. But Denzel Boston isn't bad. Like, I don't dislike Denzel Boston as a prospect. I just don't like him as much as Omar Cooper Jr. or Casey Concepcion. Mainly because I don't like his, I've fallen into the trap before where, like, these prototypical X's aren't really working out. Like, we've seen with Keon Coleman. Like, sometimes they don't work out. I'm not saying Denzel Boston is the next Keon Coleman. I'm just saying that, like, the separation and, like, the athleticism sometimes runs out in the NFL because the NFL players have so much technique and so much time put into the game that sometimes the guys who rely so much on the athleticism and aren't, like, the most generational athletes ever. I'm not saying Denzel Boston isn't. Like, he's probably a really good athlete, but, like, he might fail sometimes. And you're going to have to be patient with him, so I don't dislike it, but yeah, it makes sense. Patriots take Blake Miller, offensive tackle out of Clemson. Will Campbell's the Patriots left tackle, so they're going to need him to kick to right tackle. I played right tackle at Clemson, very battle tested, a lot of reps there. He's a solid player, not a very high ceiling type player. He's going to be solid for whatever team takes him, but like again, he was very inconsistent 2024. There's still some reps where I'm like, I don't know. But like, if you take Blake Miller here, you get your guy and develop him under Morgan Moses and even Will Campbell. So it's not a bad option to take your offensive tackle in the future. Not a bad option whatsoever. And the Steelers trade back in and take Ty Simpson from the Seattle Seahawks. So this is interesting. I think Ty Simpson is fine. Like, he's a fine prospect. He isn't my favorite prospect ever. Like, I've had my problems with him. Obviously, like, when I watched him in person at the Rose Bowl, I was a little concerned. I was like, he doesn't look good, but he was playing through an injury, so I'm not gonna really take that into account. But like, he also had like a sickness where he lost like 15 pounds, whatever that was. Like, obviously get better for the draft process. But he's a big competitor. He's inconsistent, like past like 20 yards. Like, his arm accuracy and his arm strength is very inconsistent. He doesn't miss a lot in the small areas, like the mid to checkdowns. People call him a checkdown merchant, I guess, bro. Like, he can be a checkdown merchant. So, but a big competitor. He's pretty athletic. Like, he isn't like the most athletic, but like he can extend a play. His frame isn't good at all. Like, compared to Fernando Mendoza. Mendoza is 4 inches taller and weighs 50 pounds more. Like, that's the biggest thing for me is his frame. Like, his frame is very, very small for an NFL quarterback, and under some of these lines, he might just crumble. But he might just have to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, and quarterbacks that sit tend to do better sometimes. So, look at the last quarterback that sat behind Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. He was solid. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not a bad option. Like, it's the value. You're just hoping for it. And this team can't really prolong another quarterback for so much longer. So, it takes Ty Simpson, you develop him. Mike McCarthy can develop him. Even if you want to try out Will Howard for a little bit, then put in Ty Simpson, I guess. Like, it's not a bad option, but yeah, it makes sense. Just like Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker out of Texas Tech. I like it a lot. I think Jacob Rodriguez, I have a first-round grade for him. It's just he's not going to the first round that often. He can really get to the quarterback. He does bite a little bit on some of these play actions and some of these plays, but like, I don't dislike his tape at all. Like, he's a very like instinctual player. He relies a lot on his instincts. Sometimes can burn you, sometimes can hurt you. Like, that's that's what you rely on in instincts. But he's not the craziest athlete, but he's again a solid player. He can do it all type of player. Get to the quarterback. He's again a really good overall player. Carlos Dick, wide receiver, Mark Cooper Jr., wide receiver out of India. Not a bad option. I mean, it's again more versatility. Next, Marvin Harrison Jr. won't be a bad 1-2 punch, and this quarterback there, Gardner Minshew or Jacoby Brissett, not a bad option. I think Gardner Minshew's in that room. I might be completely wrong, but I don't dislike next Marvin Jr. next to wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. and hopefully Harrison can get going a little bit more. So not a bad option. Tennessee Chris Brazil, wide receiver out of Tennessee. Okay, so the difference with like Brazil than some of the other Tennessee wide receivers like Jalen Hyatt or I don't know some others is that Chris Brazil doesn't have as limited of a route tree. He's not the prototypical streak type guy because obviously Tennessee is not a very wide receiver friendly team. Because sometimes you just see wide receivers from Tennessee bust, but like with Chris Brazil, it's not a bad option. Like I think it's worth it, but yeah, I think it's a little high. I think I prefer other players. I think I prefer Chris Bell, the other Chris. So that's interesting, but like I don't dislike Chris Brazil here. I mean, it makes sense, but the Titans do need a wide receiver too. Not a bad option, but I think this team needs more. There's better players on the board for them. Raiders take Avon Trail corner out of Clemson. The Giants would have loved him, but he goes to the Raiders here. Not a bad option. This team could use another corner here. Again, not a bad option. Eric Stokes is a corner one. I think Avon Trail can step in and be the wide receiver one. He did re-aggravate his hamstring, but I don't dislike Avon Trail here at all. It makes a lot of sense. Giants take Chase Santos into your offensive line of Texas A&M. Even with Isaiah Likely, I think Kenan Sadiq is 100% in play. I don't dislike Kenan Sadiq here at all. I think it would be an awesome another weapon for Jackson Dart. But if you take Chase Santos into your offensive guard, they have Jake Kubas starting. You immediately step in for Jake Kubas. It's not a bad option. They do have John Runyon still. They have obviously Illuminor and AT locked down long term on the tackle spot, and they have JMS at center. So not a bad option to take Chase Santos here. Another good pass pro and be really good, like a really good pick for Jackson Dart, but like I don't know if the value is worth it here. I don't like Chase Santos that much as some of the other mock draft analysts, but I don't know. I don't dislike it. Texans take Kenan Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon. If the Texans somehow land Kenan Sadiq, like literally clap it up. I mean, there's no way I don't see anywhere that Kenan Sadiq goes past 29. Like I don't know. I think Kenan Sadiq has been amazing for his combine stats. Like he was really good. He ran the second fastest tight end 40-yard dash ever. Only 0.01 beside Vernon Davis. Like that's how good he was. So I don't really see him falling out the first round. He's not the best tight end prospect we've seen in the last couple of years. That kid goes like Brock Bowers, even Tyler Warren. But like I don't dislike Kenan Sadiq. It makes a lot of sense. Like it does. Like he's a real freakish athlete. He can be a good a mismatch outside. He can play on the outside, play on the inside, has good hands. He's a freak athlete, not a bad option. Browns take Emmanuel Pregnon to the offensive line of Oregon after losing Wyatt Teller. Not a bad option to take Emmanuel Pregnon here. Very high floor starter. He produced at both programs he went to. Not a bad option. Chiefs take CJ Allen, linebacker out of Georgia. Not a bad option. He didn't have a great pro day. Like he looks really slow. That was the whole problem with him coming out of college. That he looked very slow, and I don't know how well he will do in the NFL level. So that's the whole issue, but I think after losing Leo Chenal to who was it? I think to the Commanders in a very cheap deal. I think the Chiefs could 100% paid him. I would prefer Leo Chenal over to CJ Allen, but regardless, you go Leo Chenal here, or sorry, CJ Allen here. It's fine. It's good value. People have him as a first round player, but I don't dislike him. It's fine. He just looks slow sometimes, so it's not a bad option. Bengals take Tre'Davious Sticks corner out of Arizona. Play that slot role. He played primarily slot in Arizona, but not a bad option. You can be literally a slot safety hybrid. Not a bad option. He's very versatile. You gotta get a 2-1 picker. Not a bad option whatsoever. Saints to Cash Texas A&M edge. This team honestly needs a little bit more. I think Cash could be a DPR when he first comes to the league, and then eventually building up his area. He just has really short arms, which really concerns me because I think if you just get fucked up and against one of those bigger tackles, you just might get molested. That's a big issue. I honestly prefer Malachi Lawrence here, but I think regardless, it's not a bad option. He can get to the quarterback. He really can. So I don't dislike Cash as a player. I just don't like his arms. So take that how you will. Dolphins take Malachi Lawrence edge out of UCF. Don't dislike it whatsoever. Malachi Lawrence goes here. He can really get to the quarterback. He honestly is really good in the running game too. Again, like I said on tape, he doesn't wow me with everything, but he's again a solid player. He had a really good combine, which got a lot of people on the radar. He didn't get me on the radar because I've been watching YouTubers and analysts mock Malachi Lawrence honestly a lot. But he got to the quarterback. He's a solid pick. He was a Pac-12 player of the year, or I think Pac-12 player of the year. Not a bad option. He makes sense here. Just take Carson Beck, quarterback, or Miami. I I don't know how much I like this. I don't know. I think Carson Beck is a little bit of a reach. I think if you take him in the 3rd round, it's not bad. I think this team just needs to just play for the next year's quarterback class. Next year's quarterback class will have Dante Moore for sure. It'll have maybe Julian Sang. It'll have I don't know, Kevin Jennings. It'll have TJ Lagway, possibly maybe Arch Manning, maybe Julian Sang. I don't know if I said Julian Sang. I'm dementia. There'll be more people there. Maybe Darius Mensah. Like, there's a lot more people there than I would like Carson Beck, who's an older prospect who isn't like gonna wow you with everything. His arm strength is fine. He's more of a game manager. Like, I don't know if I like him here. The team needs a lot more. Jacob Rodriguez, it's fine. But like, if we take I think they need a corner. Brandon Cisse is available. Fucking take him. Davison Ignoson, take him. Take him. Like, they're both here. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. So Carson Beck here goes here. Not my favorite pick in the world. Ravens take Trey Zune, interior offensive lineman out of Texas A&M. Interesting, he has him marked as an interior offensive lineman. PFF has him ranked as a tackle. So this team doesn't need a guard, so it's a big developmental piece, but I think they can definitely use a guard here. Not a bad option. Bucks take Josiah Trotter, linebacker out of Missouri. Not a bad option whatsoever. The Bucks need a linebacker after Levante David retired, and I'd rather than take a linebacker in the 2nd round like Josiah Trotter, Jake Golladay, Jacob Rodriguez, more than them reaching on CJ Allen in number 2 in round 1. So don't dislike it at all. I like Josiah Trotter. He can be a good run stopper, really good there. He can develop more in the pass rushing or pass stopping side, but it's not a bad option. I mean, it's a really solid option. Colts take Max Sinatra, offensive tackle out of Arizona State. This team loves bringing freakishly good offensive tackles and specific offensive lines too. Arizona State didn't really he wasn't really developed there. Like, he can 100% has a lot more to be developed. So I don't dislike Max Sinatra whatsoever. I think the Colts could get a real stud here. Not a bad option, whatever. Falcons, Brandon Cisse get Brandon Cisse, cornerback out of South Carolina. I like Brandon Cisse here. Makes a lot of sense. He's a freakish athlete. Had some lapses at the Texas A&M game, but overall played solid throughout the year. Really good. Not the best in the press man coverage, but he has very, very good range, very, very good hands. He's freakishly quick. I like it a lot. Like, this makes a lot of sense for the Falcons. Need a number 1 corner. Not a bad option. Falcons take Jadarian Price, running back out of Notre Dame. He's very, very hard to get put down. Like, he really is. Like, watching his tape, he was breaking a bunch of first tackles. Like, that's what I want from my running back. He looked really, really good. So I don't dislike Jadarian Price. Like I've said, I don't dislike Jadarian Price. I just don't like him going the 1st round as much as other people do. But again, regardless, they take Jadarian Price here. Not a bad option. A really hard guy to take down. So it makes a lot of sense, and will be a good fitting for this team, especially with the running back being a revolving door and not so sure for the future, long-term future. Lions take D'Angelo Pons, corner out of Indiana. Interesting. I think the Lions can use another corner here. He can probably play nickel. I think he probably plays more nickel in the NFL. For his size, he's 5'9". But if he wasn't 5'9", we were talking about a top 10 pick. Like, he plays so good for his size, but he gets exposed sometimes against these big wide receivers, specifically Jeremiah Smith. That was his worst game, where he was just getting attacked, and obviously Ohio State was smart for attacking D'Angelo Pons. But like, I don't dislike D'Angelo Pons. It's just like his size just limits him. So that's the biggest issue. But like, I like him. He'd be a good line type player, a real ferocious type player. Not a bad option whatsoever. Panthers take AJ Halsey, safety out of LSU. Not bad. I think this team needs a safety, developing longer. If they don't take a safety in the 1st round, I think definitely AJ Halsey's in play. Really high floor player. Not like the most athletic, really freak ever, but again, solid player. Packers take Chris Johnson, corner out of San Diego State. I think this makes a lot of sense. He plays really good zone coverage. He has really good physicals too. Really good hands. He can catch it. Not a bad option whatsoever. I like it a lot. Seahawks take Zakee Wheatley from the Steelers. This is obviously after the trade back. Zakee Wheatley isn't bad. I have him as a top 75 player. Again, really good. He's really good. This team does need safety out of losing Kobe Bryant. I wouldn't dislike Zakee Wheatley here. A really good athlete. Don't hate it at all. You also take Keon Crawford, edge out of Auburn. Not a bad option. This team needs an edge. Keon Crawford can get to the quarterback. Not a bad option at all. Chargers take Fernando Carmona, interior offensive lineman out of Arkansas. Interesting. I think I haven't seen Carmona go in the 2nd round a lot. I have to do more research on him because I'm not going to speak illy on someone I don't know. But don't just see him go on the side. The team does need interior offensive line though, so I definitely can see that, and especially with Jim Harbaugh wanting to build a big running game like he did at Michigan. Obviously, it's not a bad option to take Fernando Carmona here, but like, again, this might be a little bit of a reach. So regardless, it's a fine pick. Jaguars take Deontay Lawson, linebacker out of Alabama. I don't dislike it. I think this team does need a linebacker. I think the linebacker class is a little better. I would prefer Anthony Hill or Jake Golladay here, but Anthony Lawson isn't bad. But again, it makes sense. It's not a bad option. The Bears take Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas. Speaking of Anthony Hill Jr., I think Texas didn't use him as much as they wanted him to in the blitzing area. I think he would be a really good blitzer for this team. He can get to the quarterback. He can play like an edge, kind of like an RB regional, play like the linebacker / edge role. Not a bad option whatsoever. Like, It makes sense. Like, I like Anthony Hill Jr. a lot. Like, it like a little bit of inconsistencies, but like I think if a team utilizes him right, he can be a real game changer. We're talking about like a top 10, protected top 10 pick at the start of the year. Obviously, fought on a little bit. He's still a second round player. Like, he's not bad. Like, I like it. I think Anthony Hill Jr. won't be a bad pick for whatever team takes him. It's just like a little inconsistency. You gotta work on the inconsistencies. 49ers take Devin Moore, corner out of Florida. Not a bad option either. I think Devin Moore would be awesome. A good boundary corner for them. Not a bad option whatsoever. I think he makes sense here. The 49ers do need a corner. Not a bad option. Texans take offensive tackle Caleb Tiernan out of Northwestern. He can probably play guard tackle. He's probably a swing tackle role. Didn't like test that quickly in the NFL Combine. Not a bad option though. Makes sense. The Bears take Zion Young, edge out of Missouri. This is honestly pretty good. It's like, I like it a lot. I think the Bears could use another edge rusher. And Zion Young has been really good. The only problem is like DOI, but like he's not a bad player per se. It's just like, again, the DOI was a problem, but like he's produced at Missouri. Good run stopper, good pass getter. Like, not, again, it's an easy pick. Not a bad option. The Rams take Jayshon Barham, linebacker out of Michigan. Interesting that Jayshon Barham goes up before Jake Golladay, but I don't dislike it at all. I think Jayshon Barham will be a bad pick for this team. I think I like Jayshon Barham here. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, it means they need a linebacker, not a bad option whatsoever. Broncos take Lee Hunter, defensive lineman out of Texas Tech. Again, not a bad option. A real run plugger. They did lose John Franklin Myers. You take a defensive lineman here. Makes sense. I like it a lot. Patriots take Eli Cyrus, signing out of Vanderbilt. Interesting area. I think this team could probably use an upgrade at tight end too. Even with Hunter Henry, you maybe want to build for the future. Eli Cyrus had a great combine. He didn't blow it away, but he did break a record for the vertical jump, which wasn't a bad showcasing. But take Eli Cyrus here. Makes sense. I like Vanderbilt tight end here. Not a bad option. He's not the most blocking tight end. He's probably more of a mismatch. He sometimes plays in the slot or on the outside. But like teams like literally play with Eli Cyrus more as a wide receiver than he does a tight end. But like he's, again, really good speed, really good athletic tools. Not a bad option whatsoever. Seahawks take Cameron Johnson, running back out of Nebraska. Not a bad option. Again, another speed running back, good one-cut speed ability. Not bad whatsoever. This team does need a run back after losing K9 and Jack Charbonnet coming off a torn ACL. That really fucked them over in the end. But I don't dislike Cameron Johnson here at all. Makes a lot of sense for his team. Round 3. Cardinals take Nick Barnett, defensive lineman out of South Carolina. Interesting. I don't usually see Nick Barnett go this high, but I like it. I think Nick Barnett's good. After watching South Carolina games, I didn't dislike him as a player, but like this team might need a little bit more. I mean, they might need more of an edge rusher, but you get more presence there. Not a bad option whatsoever. Makes sense. Titans take Ken Rolling, interior offensive line out of Georgia Tech. Interesting to talk about Georgia Tech. Interior offensive lineman was really good. He was really solid, but like I don't know if people viewed him as a second round pick, but he's really strong. Can put your ass on the ground. He had a really good combine. Not a bad option whatsoever. Really take Jeremiah Wright, interior offensive line out of Auburn. Not a bad option whatsoever either. I think I like Jeremiah Wright. He's going to be fine in this area. He is pretty strong. The Rays do need an interior offensive lineman. Not a bad option whatsoever. The Eagles take Ted Hurst, wide receiver at Georgia State. Not a bad option either. Even with A.J. Brown on the move, Ted Hurst won't be bad. Ted Hurst isn't the most like he's a real high grade receiver for me. He just doesn't like have great route running, but his speed, his catching, everything, like his other stuff, like his other intangibles aren't bad whatsoever. So if you take Ted Hurst here, not a bad option whatsoever. Texas take Romello Height, edge out of Texas Tech. This is a real pass rusher, more of a DPR. He can he literally his only thing is he doesn't have good strength at all. His only thing is getting to the quarterback through his speed, and this team has the luxury of taking that. This team can really bolster up that area. I think you definitely can say a linebacker is available, especially with Jake Golladay. I think Jake Golladay is gone, hasn't been gone yet. So I don't dislike Ted Hurst, I don't dislike Romello Height here, but like you might want another linebacker. But again, this team has so much luxury, and this team has been really good with how much capital they have. Like it's not a bad option to take Romello Scott here. The Browns take Keontae Scott, safety out of Miami. He played that nickel/safety role. Not a bad option. The Browns can use just more secondary help. Not a bad option to take Keontae Scott here. I'm not going to harp on the team for taking someone. He's just been a little inconsistent sometimes, but I don't dislike it. I mean, can literally has so much big playability, especially seen with towards like the playoff run where he pick six something. Like that was pretty good. So I don't dislike Keontae Scott here at all. Makes sense. Commanders take Antonio Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson. So this is interesting. Antonio Williams is a little bit of a tweener guy. I think he's a little bit more on the smaller side. He's a good player. Like he honestly started getting really good buzz towards the end. Like it's not a bad option. Like he makes a lot of sense for the Commanders. This team doesn't have a lot of wide receivers in that room. It's just literally Terry McLaurin and Luke McCaffrey. Like this team hasn't really signed much. I think Brandon Ayuk is 100% a possibility of going there. I think they're building up with the AFC guys that Daniels played with. So if you take Brandon Ayuk, Terry McLaurin, and Antonio Williams, it's not a bad option. You play Antonio Williams in the slot. He can play whatever he wants. A little bit concerned with his route running sometimes, but he's a solid player. He's a solid player. I don't dislike him. Bengals take Davison Ignosin, corner out of Ohio State. Not a bad option. He's a little bit grabby, but like he can be a real culture setter for this team. Like he's produced as one of the best corners on that team, if not the best corner on that team. And he's a little bit, again, he has a lot of grabbiness. It's not like bad. It's not a bad pick. This team can use it. The Bengals take Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver at Alabama. Another safe pick. He doesn't do the best thing, the best ever. But like he has smallish frame. He's like 6'1", but like he does all the dirty work. He gets the ball underneath. He catches these tough balls. He's not the most like highly touted wide receiver with the most skill set ever, but like he's again a solid overall pick, so I don't dislike him here whatsoever. Chiefs take Julian corner out of Arkansas. They need a corner here. I mean, if you can hit on this, it's not going to be a bad idea. He did not have a great Senior Bowl. He was getting burned on some reps. He also didn't have a great combine, but again, I think you can take the value here, and this team needs a corner, so sometimes you're going to reach on a premium position like corner, so not a bad option either. Dolphins take to your offensive line on as Cooper. I haven't really done much research on him, so don't really harp on me, but this team does need guard, so I don't dislike taking on as Cooper here. If he hits, not a bad option. Seahawks take Connor Lew, interior offensive lineman out of Auburn. He'd be more of a center. I think I didn't know for a fact he's a center. This team could use another interior offensive line. Their offensive line has been really depleted. So if you want to move their center to guard, or if you want to move Lew to guard, not a bad option regardless. Makes a lot of sense. But the Bucs take Big Citrus, defensive lineman out of Iowa State. Not a bad option. He makes a lot of sense for his team. Like I think Big Citrus won't be bad. They need another defensive tackle outside Vita Vea. Makes sense. It fits the team a lot. The Colts take Elijah Sarratt, wide receiver out of India. A very big go-getter type of guy. Like this team could use another wide receiver, especially after losing Michael Pittman Jr. and paying Alec Pierce. You probably want a little bit more. So if you take Elijah Sarratt here, not a bad option. This team could use someone like Elijah Sarratt, real go-getter down the field. Not a bad option, which they're lacking now that they got rid of Michael Pittman Jr. Falcons take Kyle Lewis, linebacker out of Pitt. Not a bad option. I think the Falcons can use another linebacker here. He can be so versatile for this team. Not a bad option. Ravens take Christian Miller, defensive lineman out of Georgia. Again, not a bad option to take Christian Miller here. They need a defensive tackle. I think they did re-sign Travis Jones, but I think BK is so much of a big concern that you can maybe take a shot on Christian Miller, who's a big physical beast. So not a bad option to take him. Jaguars take Chris McClellan Jr., defensive lineman out of Missouri. Again, not a bad option. Can be a good defensive tackle here. Won't be a bad option for this team. I think this team needs a defensive lineman. So again, makes sense. I like it a lot. The Vikings take Malik Muhammad, cornerback out of Texas. This team does need a corner here too. I sometimes mock Jamal McCoy here to the Vikings here. So again, Malik Muhammad, not a bad option to get to the secondary. It makes a lot of sense for this team. I like it a lot. The Panthers take Gabe Jacas, edge out of Illinois. This makes a lot of sense too. I think I like Gabe Jacas here. I mean, literally, it's another edge rusher here. I think this team does need another edge. It's good depth for this team. I don't dislike it. Packers take Rashad Benny, defensive lineman out of Michigan. Again, not a bad option to take Rashad Benny. Makes a lot of sense. I like taking Rashad Benny here. They need a defensive tackle after again getting rid of Kenny Clark, so not a bad option to take him here. But develop their own homegrown talent, not a bad option. Seriously, Jennings Unger, interior offensive line out of Iowa. He has more of his interior offensive lineman. I do too as well. I think Jennings Unger can be a good interior offensive lineman. He is really strong. The only problem is his arm length and his speed sometimes that didn't really translate. But I think the Steelers can use an interior offensive lineman. They have a big vacancy at guard. So if you take Jennings Unger here, it's not a bad option. Chargers take Daryl Johnson Jr., defensive lineman out of Florida State. I think Daryl Jackson Jr. has been awesome. Like he's been really good. He's a good nose tackle, good plugging nose for this team. Not a bad option whatsoever. Dolphins take Sam Hackett, interior offensive line out of Kansas State. He plays more of a safety, so I don't dislike it. Or more of a center, don't dislike it. Dolphins need a center. More guard depth, not a bad option whatsoever. Jaguars take Genesis Smith, safety out of Arizona. Interesting. If you develop him right, he can be really good. He's very, very good as an athlete. The only problem is he has terrible pad level and cannot tackle for shit. But like if you develop that, maybe he can be really good. So I don't dislike him. Bears take Bud Clark, safety out of TCU. He had honestly a pretty solid showcasing at the combine, so I don't dislike taking Bud Clark here. Makes a lot of sense. I think the Bears could use someone like Bud Clark. Makes a lot of sense. I like it a lot. We can move on from that. Dolphins take Takario Davis, cornerback out of Washington. Okay, not a bad option either. It's a real fit for the team. This team does need corner again. I know they did take corner earlier in the draft, but it's not a bad option to take corner here as well. Bills take Chandler Rivers, cornerback out of Duke. Again, makes sense. The Bills need a corner. Not a bad option whatsoever. Cowboys take Jake Golladay, linebacker out of Cincinnati. This team needs a linebacker too. This linebacker picks have not been good, so I don't dislike it. But might backfire, but I don't dislike it at all. Jalen Kilgore, safety out of South Carolina, goes to the Rams. Makes a lot of sense for the Rams. He can literally play anything. Like he's solid. Like he just needs a little bit more refinement, but I think he can be awesome for this team. It makes sense. This team does need a little bit more secondary, so not a bad option. It makes sense. Dolphins take Justin Joly, tight end out of NC State. This team could use another tight end. People have mocked Kenny and CD here, so I think this team can use another tight end. Justin Joly, a good yak guy, not a bad option. Patriots take deny Dennis on an edge out of Penn State. Another go-getter to the quarterback. This team does need another edge here. Not a bad option. I mean, it makes sense. He had a pretty good combine too, so people liked him. So it's not a bad option to take deny Dennis on here. Seahawks take Cage Casey offensive tackle out of Boise State. Interesting. I think this team doesn't need an offensive tackle. But, like, I don't know if you will play offensive tackle. It's more of a depth piece, so it's not a bad option. Vikings take Kendall Daniels, linebacker out of Oklahoma. Again, not a bad option. This team doesn't need linebacker, so it might be a little bit more depth piece. Maybe fight for starting spot. Not a bad option. Eagles take Demetrius Conner, offensive tackle out of Texas A&M. Interesting. This team already took offensive tackle early in this draft, so it'd be interesting where they see they go, but not a bad option. Steelers take VJ Penn, safety out of Kansas State. Again, not a bad option. I think the Steelers do need another safety, so it's not a bad option at all. That makes sense. Jaguars take Brennan Thompson, wide receiver at Mississippi State. Russ Beaton can get to get the ball and really like just run. So it's not an option. The Jaguars do need a wide receiver, and they have been shopping around Brian Thomas Jr. So if you get rid of him, wide receiver is 100% play. So don't dislike it. Not a bad option. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think. I'll let you guys know what I think. It was good. Yeah, that's basically it. I'll let you guys know there were some big whips in the first round, but the later rounds weren't as bad. So I don't know, just a second. We're gonna call it a spade. But yeah, we're just gonna end it there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.